Here we are. Here we are, boys. Here we are. Here we are with episode 80. With episode 80 to come short, you boy. Here we are, guys, with episode 80 to come short, you boy. So, before we get into it, guys, I have to reiterate this. I have to reiterate this every stream, every time I'm doing one of these, guys. I have to reiterate this. If at any point in the stream y'all hear me stuttering or tripping over my words, I've got a speech impediment. That's why I stutter. That's why I trip over my words. And with that, let's get the promotional stuff out of the way, and then we can get into it. So here with that, guys, let's get the promotional stuff out of the way, and then we can get into it. So y'all get the boxing stream at the end of the month. I'll talk about all the greats. I'll talk about Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, Rock Marciano. I hate my speech impediment. Sonny Liston, etc., etc. I'll talk about all the greats at the end of the month, and we'll do the boxing stream. Also, guys, I'm still working on the White Knight, Ogre's 8, the Dragon King trilogy, and the broader world of Evaloria itself. And I'm still working on Gunblade. I'm still working on the Samurai and Gunslinger. I'm still working on all that, guys. And with all that, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time to do all this. But yeah, guys, now that we got all that out of the way, now that we got the intro and the promotional stuff out of the way, now we can get into it. So what do y'all want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, baby? Because we can talk about anything, guys. Also, if y'all want to know what the channel is about, then go read the channel a description. Yes, it is a bit long. Yes, it is a bit wordy. But it basically explains everything. It explains what the channel is about and what I'm about. So I talk a lot here, guys. I talk a lot about anime, manga, comic books, history, mythology, and philosophy. I talk about all that stuff, guys. I'm a reader and writer, guys. It's what I do. Even though I've got nothing published, I'm working on hidden stories, like I said in the intro. So, both the White Knight and Ogre's 8. It's going good. My dear viewer. But however, like I said, guys, I haven't published anything yet, guys. I've published nothing yet. So my first two stories, it will come out next year. My first two books, it will come out next year. Hey, the White Knight and Ogre's 8. Hey, the White Knight is one chapter, 20 pages, 4 to 6 panels per page. And that's coming out in May of next year. Hey, the White Knight is coming out in May of next year, and Ogre's 8 is coming out in October next year. So, both of those stories, guys, are one chapter, 20 pages, 4 to 6 panels per page. One chapter, 20 pages, 4 to 6 panels per page. So, there you go. I mean, this is a lot of work, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. Also, guys, I do have, for any of you that are curious, I do have all my stuff, all my content in a playlist now. If you guys as well, I've got all my stuff, all my content in a playlist now. If y'all want to check them out, if you want to check out any of my music, any of my gaming stuff, or just my random videos here and there. So yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know, my dear viewer. I don't know if you can get a free copy if your birthday or not. I still gotta finish writing the stories. Well, I pretty much have the writing for the White Knight done. Like, I have the writing for the White Knight done. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that at the end of the month. Don't you worry, my dear viewer. I will talk about that at the end of the month. I'll talk about Jake and Tyson at the end of the month whenever I do the boxing stream. Also, guys, let me clear this up now, just in case, or just before anyone starts spamming in chat, because I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. It always happens. I've done 79 of these, guys. This is episode 80. And I know it's gonna happen. So let me just address it here. Y'all will get concept art. Concept art or artwork is coming of the samurai and gunslinger. And y'all keep asking for it, and it's going to happen. Probably around the end of the year, though, guys. Probably around Christmas or New Year's. But yeah, it's very, very interesting, guys. It is very, very interesting that all this stuff is coming together very, very slowly. But if you want my opinion, or side note, if y'all want my opinion on the Jake or on the Paul versus Tyson fight, y'all will have to wait a few days if we get the boxing stream in order. Because once I get the boxing stream in order, I will actually address all that stuff, guys. I will address all of it. Like, I will address all that stuff once I do the boxing stream at the end of the month. So, yeah, guys, I have playlists now on the channel. If any of y'all want to check it out, just feel free to listen to my music stuff, my Moody Mix, or the Songs of Avaloria, or any of my other stuff I have on. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff if you guys coming. I got a lot of stuff coming if you guys, and it's very, very good. The only thing that's not good is my speech impediment, of which I know, I sound like Courage the Cowardly Dog or Porky. I know. Before anyone says it, I know. I cannot help my speech impediment. It's just here. It's just there with me. So, yeah. I mean, everything is just good, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. I mean, if you want me to talk about certain stuff, then just let me know. Because, like I said, anime, manga, comic books, history, philosophy, psychology, mythology, all this stuff. I've studied Greek mythology. I've studied Greek mythology for 6 years, and I've studied Norse for 2. So yeah, I know a bit about mythology here and there. I want to start getting into Celtic though, like Scotland and Ireland. I want to dive into their myths and the and their mythology and all that. I think that'd be fun. Do not worry, my friend. I'll talk about boxing soon enough. I'll talk about the great. I will talk about the great Rock Marciano, which he's one of my favorites actually. I'll talk about the legend himself, the original Italian stallion, Rock Marciano. I'll talk about them soon enough. I'll talk about all those guys I mentioned in the intro. Like, it's just so good. I love boxing. It was one of my favorite things to watch. It was my grandfather, who passed away in 2019. He died of lung cancer. But I'll talk about that. I'll talk about all my family stuff probably on another stream if y'all want. I mean, I don't really want to get into that. I'd rather keep my private stuff private. But yeah, I've got something special coming if y'all though. I've got something very, very special coming if y'all want it. That is, if y'all truly, truly want it, I'll give it to y'all. I will, hey, because I have a song, right? I have a song that I made a few years ago, or that it took me a long time to write. I've got a certain song it took me a long time to write, and if and when I release it, you will know why. You will know why it took me so long to write this song. Because I guys have to wait. Y'all will have to wait and see. But yeah, it's what I want to talk about. Because I'd rather get away from my personal stuff. I'd rather just keep that stuff in the corner, if for now. I mean, we've done 80 of these now. We've done 79 of these, guys. This is episode 80, so it's another milestone. We are 20 away. We are, or no, yeah. We are 20 away. We're 20 away from 100. Now, we're 20 episodes away from hitting 100. Yes, I love boxing. I grew up on boxing. This is why I've promised y'all two things, right? I have promised y'all two things. I've promised y'all the boxing stream, of which I've said in the past you will get in late November, of which it is now November, and y'all will get that stream at the end of the month. Also, I've promised y'all artwork, or at least concept art of the Samurai and Gunslinger. I've promised y'all at least concept art of the Samurai and Gunslinger, of which are the two main characters of the main story I'm working on right now. I hope that was understandable, but yeah, like, I mean, all the stuff I'm working on, guys, is gonna take time. It's gonna take time, a lot of patience, and a lot of effort, of which I'm willing to put in. But yeah. So like, if y'all want me to talk about stuff, like personal stuff, y'all gonna have to wait. Because I'd rather just keep my private stuff private and just enjoy the stuff I'm doing currently. Like right now I'm working on a lot of stories. I'm working on a few songs here and there. Please note, guys, that I do not do the music stuff professionally. I just do it as a hobby. The actual stuff I do professionally, I write. I'm a reader and writer, guys. I'm a storyteller. I've read some phenomenal stories, like The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, The Lord of the Rings, or no, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and pretty much anything and everything J.R.R. Tolkien has ever written. I'm a huge fan of Middle-earth and J.R.R. Tolkien's works. I'm also a fan of Narnia and C.S. Lewis and his works. Also, I've read Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've read a lot of Shakespeare. I've read a lot of William Shakespeare's works. I've also read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's works, particularly his horror stuff with Telltale Heart, Hit the Raven, and The House of Usher, and the Red Death and all those stories. I've also read H.P. Lovecraft. And when I tell you, no author, no collection of books has given me more nightmares than H.P. Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos. And the Cthulhu mythos, guys, that crap traumatized me. That crap scared me for weeks. I could not sleep for 3 weeks straight. Like, it was so bad. But yeah, I love H.P. Lovecraft. Although yes, his stories are controversial nowadays, his stories are still the most horrifying things I've ever read. Like, it is truly, truly interesting, guys. Also, guys, if for those of you that are interested, in episode 40 of this series, I talked about fairy tales. I talked about fairy tales and mythology and the Disney classics that we all love, and the actual origins of those stories, like Sleeping Beauty, and and Cinderella and Snow White and Beauty and the Beast and Pinocchio and all these stories, guys. I've read the Brothers Grimm, a collection. I've read the Grimm brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. I've also read Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales. Hey the Little Mermaid. Hey the Little Mermaid is a messed up story. It's a very, very good story though, and one of the saddest ones I've read, one of the saddest stories I've read, from Hans Christian Andersen, in particular, is Hey the Little Match Girl. Hey the Little Match Girl is so sad and so tragic. It kind of has a happy ending, but not really. Also, guys, one of my favorite stories is Rapunzel. And I love the 2010 Disney film. And I love the 2010 Disney film Tangled. Tangled is such a great film in my opinion. I love that film to death. Like, the story of Rapunzel is so good. But the original story by the Brothers Grimm, ooh, that's dark. That is dark and twisted, and it's fascinating, guys. It is truly, truly fascinating, because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about these old messed up stories, these old messed up fairy tales. Now, I've mentioned two names here. I've mentioned two collections of fairy tales, guys. I've mentioned two collections of fairy tales. One, the Grimm brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. Their collection of fairy tales is good, and I'll get to them. Excuse me, and I'll get to them in a minute. However, first, let's talk about Hans Christian Andersen, because Hans Christian Andersen made up his fairy tales. He completely made them up. At least as far as I'm aware. As my knowledge is limited on this factor, guys. My knowledge is very, very limited currently about this stuff. I was told that Hans Christian Andersen made up his fairy tales, meaning they were actual stories. However, with the Brothers Grimm, with Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, aka the Grimm brothers, they did not make any of their stories up. They collected them. Hans Christian Andersen, I was told, made his stories up, while Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, collected theirs from old. It collected theirs by word of mouth, and because I believe the Brothers Grimm collection, I believe the Grimm Brothers collection of fairy tales, they actually collected a lot of them from Germany, of which they collected these stories from mothers and wives. Why? Because, as far as I know, the Brothers Grimm's, the Grimm Brothers fairy tales, the Grimm Brothers fairy tales were not made up. They were originally old wives' tales. Now, old wives' tales are stories that mothers would tell their children to put them to sleep. Basically, bedtime stories, or another way of looking at it, the second, or the second definition, I believe, is basically old is basically, or the second reason rather, not definition, the second reason rather was, or the second reason these stories here were called old wives' tales was because because mothers and wives who would tell their children these stories to put them to bed or to scare them straight. Now, if y'all want to know any more about this stuff, guys, if y'all want to know any more about this stuff and stop listening to my stuttering full of a mess, because, guys, I stutter, I trip over my words. If y'all want to stop listening to a dumb southern, never mind. I was about to say something very, very bad there. Very, very bad there. But I stopped myself. And yes, guys, I do beat myself up a lot as far as mentally and verbally. And because of my speech impediment, I am not well spoken. Granted, I'm very well read. I'm very, very well read, but I'm not very well spoken. I'm not articulate with my words, guys. I am not articulate with my words, but I'm trying to be. I'm trying to get better at that. However, if y'all want an actual good source, if y'all want an actual good channel and to stop listening to my dumb at, then I would recommend a channel called John Solo. Better yet, look up Messed Up Origins. Look up Messed Up Origins on YouTube if y'all want to stop listening to my rambling, stupid. If y'all want to stop listening to my dumb at, I understand. But just go look up Messed Up Origins, guys. Go look up Messed Up Origins. John Solo's got you covered. John Solo has you covered. He does all the research and all the stuff, guys. I love his channel. I'm subscribed to it, and it's very, very good. I would highly recommend John Solo. That's JONSOLO. Like, if y'all want to stop listening to me, I understand. But go check out this channel, please. It's so, so good. I'm begging you. Please, leave the stream right now. Go look up Messed Up Origins and Sean Solo if you were interested in learning the actual origins of a lot of the Disney classics we grew up on. Either way, so yeah, a lot of those stories are messed up, guys. A lot of those stories are messed up. Like, those stories are so, so messed up, guys. I love them. I love these stories to death. These old and ancient stories are very, very unique, and in some sense, they're bizarre. They're very, very bizarre stories, but they're very good stories at that. Like, Like, and if y'all want more details on this stuff, like I said, go go look up a channel called John Solo. Go look up Messed Up Origins. It should pop right up on YouTube. But yeah, guys, I'm interested in these old and ancient stories. Like, these old and ancient stories are just so fascinating. Like, I've read a lot of good books, guys. Like, excuse me, I've read a lot of good books. I've read The Hunger Games. I've read the Hunger Games trilogy, 1984. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Pretty much everything J.R.R. Tolkien has ever written, I've read. And everything, well, nearly everything that C.S. Lewis has written, I've read as well. Like, I've read a lot of good books, guys. I've read a lot of good books. And it is just oh so fascinating to me. It's very interesting and intriguing. Plus, guys, I've read the Bible. Obviously, it is over 2,000 years old, and it's a very ancient book. But I've also read William Shakespeare's plays. Like, I've read a lot of Shakespeare, guys. I've read Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello. I've read a lot of Shakespeare, guys. I'm a reader and writer. Also, guys, I've read Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained by John Milton. I've also read Dante's A Divine Comedy, Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. Very good and complicated books. Also, I've read Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like I mentioned earlier, I've read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff. I've read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stuff. I've just read a lot of books, guys. I've read a lot of books, is what I'm trying to say. Plus, I've read a lot of comic books. V for Vendetta, Watchmen, a lot of Marvel and DC comic books. I am a nerd of all types. I like anime, manga, comic books, history, mythology, philosophy, etc. All you gotta do is go read in the channel description and you will understand. But yeah, guys, I mean, all this stuff is very interesting. Plus, there's something I failed to talk about. Well, I tried my best, guys. I tried my best to... Yes, sir, I do. And welcome back into the stream, my dear viewer. Welcome back to the stream. But guys, there's something I failed at. There's something I miserably failed at in last night's stream. So, in last night's stream, I wanted to talk about one of the most... In last night's stream, I wanted to talk about one of the most underrated animated films, in my opinion. It's one of the greatest animated films of all time, in my opinion, and it is by DreamWorks. It was their second animated film, right? It was their second animated film, their first being Ants, because DreamWorks wanted to compete with A Bug's Life. But, nah, that failed. That failed. However, their second animated film, The Prince of Egypt. The Prince of Egypt is a good film. It is a very good film. It's beautifully done. It is beautifully hand-drawn. It is beautifully animated, and it is phenomenal. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I love the songs in The Prince of Egypt. He deliver us. Look through... Okay. He deliver us all I ever wanted. The Plague song. Playing here with Big Boys now. All of these songs are very good, guys. All these songs are very good. Like, man, The Prince of Egypt has one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Plus, the lullaby Moses Moses' mom sings to him, before sending him away in a basket, is just amazing. If y'all do not know, The Prince of Egypt is a 1998, I believe, 1998 DreamWorks film, animated beautifully, like I said. It is a 1998 DreamWorks film, and it is a loose adaptation. It is a loose adaptation of the second book of the Bible, Exodus. Because Exodus is the story of Moses and how he frees the Hebrew people from Egypt. He frees his people, the Israelites, from Egypt and guides them into the promised land, or leads them into the promised land. It's very, very interesting, guys. I love the film so much. It's got a star-studded cast too. It has got a star-studded cast. I mean, it's got Sandra Bullock. It's got Sandra Bullock as Miriam, and Jeff Goldblum as Aaron, as Moses' brother and sister. Like, that is phenomenal. Plus, it's got Patrick Stewart as Ramesses' father. That is phenomenal, guys. That is phenomenal casting. I mean, this film, for such an underrated masterpiece, in my opinion, if you haven't watched The Prince of Egypt, and if you have Netflix, if you have not watched this film and you have access to Netflix, you have no excuse. Go watch this film. Go watch this film if you have Netflix. You have no excuse, my dear viewer. Go watch it right now. If you have Netflix, leave the stream and go watch The Prince of Egypt. It is that good. But yeah, guys, Ramesses' father is voiced by Patrick Stewart. Like I said, a phenomenal cast. Patrick Stewart, Jeff Goldblum, Sandra Bullock, etc., etc. This film has a star-studded cast, and it is phenomenal. It is truly, truly phenomenal. I love The Prince of Egypt. It is such a good story. Like, Exodus is a phenomenal book. Now, guys, as many of y'all hopefully know, the Bible is not just a book. The Bible is not just a book. It is a library. It is a library of books. It is one singular book, packaging-wise and production-wise, yes. However, within this single book is 66 books. Within this book is 66 books, all the way from Genesis to Revelations. That is 66 books, guys. It is a handheld library, is what it is. The Bible is a handheld library, of which I haven't told y'all this. I have not told y'all this, and I'll go ahead and tell y'all this right now. It has been a dream of mine to translate and copy down the King James Bible word for word into 66 individual books, into 66 individual volumes. Like, if I had a blank leather-bound journal in front of me right now and a pencil or a pen, I would start writing it down on stream. I do not care. I would do that. Translate the King James Bible into 66 individual books. I will eventually do this. I will copy it down. From Genesis all the way to Revelations, I will copy it down. I would change nothing. I would add nothing. I would just copy it down word for word exactly how it is. Of which, yes, is a huge task, is a huge undertaking, of which I get that. But I want to do this, and I'm going to eventually. I'm going to eventually do. I'm going to eventually do this, guys. I'm going to eventually do this, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, guys. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I gotta do. Actually, before I do that, guys, there's a lot of stuff I have to do. Like, I gotta do a lot of stuff before I do that. So, I gotta put that. I must. I must put that at the back of my mind, at least if for now. At least if for now. But yeah, that is a goal of mine, and that is something I would like to do eventually. Eventually. But yeah. So, what do y'all want to talk about now? I mean, we are 36 minutes into this, and I could keep going, guys. I could keep going, of which I'm going to. We're going to hit the hour mark per usual. But yeah, we always come about this problem, guys. We always come about this problem eventually. Eventually, I don't know what to talk about, and here's the problem. It's not that I have nothing to talk about or nothing to say. It's the exact opposite. I have too much. I have too much I want to say. I have too much I want to talk about. And it's all going through my head all at once. My brain sometimes feels like it's moving too fast. My thoughts cannot keep up, or my mouth cannot keep up with my thoughts and all that. And I hate the speech impediment because it forces me to. Hey, my speech impediment forces me to basically try so hard to say a word, and it makes me look insane, and I hate that. I hate that. I'm not insane. I just have a speech impediment. Like, I have a severe speech impediment. But we'll get to that later, guys. We'll get to that later. Hey, but yeah, guys, we are 20. We are 20 episodes away. We are 20 episodes away from 100 episodes. So we are 20 episodes away from 100 episodes of Come Chill With Your Boy, of me doing these nightly streams, of which is amazing, guys. Now, I haven't dove into my personal stuff or my life and all that. All y'all know is that I have a speech impediment. Y'all don't know anything else. However, if y'all would like to know, here's your chance. Because on the 100th episode, in the 100th episode of this series, guys, of the nightly streams, on the 100th episode of these nightly streams, guys, I will do a Q&A, and I will answer your questions if I can. If I can answer your questions, I will. Hey, but that'll be on episode 100, guys. That'll be on episode 100 of Come Chill With Your Boy. That'll be episode 100 of this series, of which we're on episode 80 now. But yeah, guys, I've got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff that is going to be good. Got a lot of stuff coming. If you guys like, I'm releasing 2 new songs. I'll be releasing 2 new songs on December 1st. If for you guys, because in all fairness, it has been a while. It has been a while since I've released any music. If you guys, I believe the last song was the Songs of the Galilee, of which that's a good song. That's a good song, but come December 1st, y'all will have more. come December 1st, you will have more music from me. Like, I write the lyrics and all that. So, yeah, that'll be fun. But, yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not sure what to do now. Because, I mean, every time I do one of these, guys, every time I do one of these, it seems rambly and incoherent and just unthought out, of which these are not thought out properly. I just set up, hit the camera, and go. Oh no. Oh, give me a second, guys. Give me a sec. My controller. I mean, the lighting's still good, but my controller just fell. That. Dang it. Come here. There we go. There we are. There we are. There we are. Fixed. Fixed as fit as a fiddle. So there we go. Fixed, baby. Fixed. Okay. There we go. There we are. Everything is good now, guys. Everything is good. So yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. So I mean, I'll keep doing his nightly streams, guys. And here's the problem, though. Here's the problem here with the nightly streams. I mean, I've got over 300 of y'all now, which is amazing. I thank you guys so much. I thank you guys so much for 300 subs. It is amazing, and I thank each and every one of you guys, because I honestly thought no one would give me the time of day. I honestly thought, due to my speech impediment, no one would want to hear what I have to say. There's no one interested in the stuff I'm interested in, like anime, manga, comic books, history, mythology, philosophy, boxing, etc., etc. Like, I mean, it is like genuinely fascinating that I have 300 of y'all. I am like so grateful, guys. I'm so grateful for that, guys. Truly, I am grateful to have each and every one of y'all, and I thank y'all very, very deeply, from the bottom of my heart, guys. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys so much. Like, this has been a journey, guys. Just doing the live streams again has been quite the trip, because we talk about everything, or at least I try to. But here's the thing, guys. I'm a reader and writer, and I need to write and I need to write this stuff down. I need to write this stuff down in order to think it through properly, because then maybe that would stop the stuttering and my speech impediment, although not all the way, and I understand that. Like, I'm a deep thinker, guys. I love storytelling. I'm a reader and writer. Although I've written stories, I haven't published anything yet, guys. None of my work is published yet. My first two stories are coming out next year. Hey the White Knight and Ogre's 8. Hey the White Knight in May and Ogre's 8 in October. So that'll be fun. But yeah, guys, going back to all this, guys, because it is very, very interesting, guys. It is very, very interesting that y'all listen to me for an hour every night from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Hey, that y'all listen to me ramble on and on and on about anything and everything. Like, I truly do love each and every one of you guys. But yeah, like, it's just so fascinating to me that y'all watch me here when y'all could be watching something a bit better, or something a whole lot better. Like, if y'all want good channels for like mythology and history, I would recommend Overly Sarcastic Productions. I would recommend their channel, of which they upload every Friday. They upload every Friday at 10 p.m. my time. So, They upload every Friday at 10 p.m. my time. These guys are super funny, super witty, and they make me laugh, and they're educational. Like, I love these guys so much because they're just genuine and funny and educational. If you're interested in mythology, history, or just storytelling in general, just go look up overly sarcastic productions. Go look up sarcastic productions on YouTube if you are interested in any of this. But yeah, I mean, it's just genuinely fascinating. Plus, guys, I I've read a lot of books, although I haven't read as many as I would have liked to read. Like, I want to read so much more books, guys. I want to read so much more, but I don't have the time. I do not have the time to read as much as I would like to, because I would love to read, like, well, I'm pretty sure I've gone through those stories already, like The Giver. That was a phenomenal book. That was a phenomenal read. I would like to read eventually, eventually. I would like to read, like, Fyodor Dostoevsky's work, like Crime and Punishment, Hey the Demons, Hey the Brothers Karamazov. All those books, I would like to read them. Because Fyodor Dostoevsky just seems like a good author in my opinion. I've never read him. I have never read Fyodor Dostoevsky, but I would like to. But I have read 1984. I have read a bit of George Orwell's books. And Orwell, he was so profound here with 1984. He truly was. Because Big Brother, man, Big Brother and Winston and Julia, oh, dude, the government and I cannot say it, authoritarian regime. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, guys. Like I said, a speech impediment causes me to stutter and triple for my words, and causes me to basically look stupid in front of the camera when I'm trying to talk. I hate the speech impediment. It is so stupid. But back to 1984 and the authoritarian government and all that. Orwell does it so well. He portrays it so well, of which it is the best dystopian book I've ever read. And, like, he's got so many other great books. I feel, no. My mind's thinking of another author right now, and I'm just talking about George Orwell. So, George Orwell has good books. Yes, 1984 is a phenomenal read. It is 1984 is uncomfortable, though. Like, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Now, if you're thinking about reading 1984, I warn you, it is a very, very uncomfortable book. It is realistic. It'll shock you just like it shocked me. However, like, it's just such a good book, guys. You have to go read it if you haven't already. Go read Orwell's 1984. Please. It is such a profound book. It was a very, very uncomfortable read, though. I cannot stress that enough. Orwell's writings are not for the faint of heart. George Orwell he's a phenomenal writer, but his writing and his storytelling abilities is remarkable, but some of the topics he covers can be a bit uncomfortable, but it'll be a good read nonetheless. I do not regret reading 1984. 1984 was a phenomenal book. Now, if you don't mind, let's go back to Fyodor Dostoevsky. Because Fyodor Dostoevsky, he was Crime and Punishment. Now, let me preface this, guys. I've never read any of Fyodor Dostoevsky's works. However, I want to. I badly, badly want to. I desperately want to read Fyodor Dostoevsky's works, like Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, The Demons, and there's a particular book I want to read called Notes from the Underground. Now I don't know what it's about. I do not know what Notes from the Underground is about. All I know is that people just keep telling me you need to read Fyodor Dostoevsky. You need to read Fyodor Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky is a great writer. Read him, please. Read him, please. Read him, please. I've gotten so many requests to read Fyodor Dostoevsky's work. It is insane, guys. You won't believe how many people request for me to read Fyodor Dostoevsky, to read a book by Fyodor Dostoevsky, of which I've heard a lot of good stuff. I have heard a lot of good stuff about Dostoevsky and his writing. And eventually I'll get to it. I will get to reading that, guys. I will get to reading Fyodor Dostoevsky stuff. Also, another great book I want to read is Alexander Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago. That's another one I need to read, although I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready to read. I am not worthy to read The Gulag Archipelago. But also, guys, just some complicated text and some complicated books I do have. Like, I have this. I'm sorry. I'm very, very scatterbrained right now, and I apologize. I'm very, very scatterbrained, and I'm sorry, alright? I am truly, deeply sorry, because I'm very, very scatterbrained. Hey, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll get to those texts in a minute, guys. I'll get to not in a minute, eventually. Eventually, I will read those texts. I will read The Gulag Archipelago eventually, and I will read Fyodor Dostoevsky's works and books eventually. However, I do have a book. I have a very, very complex book I haven't read yet that I probably will not read for a while. And that book is Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. I have a beautiful copy of it, guys. I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful copy of War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. And I haven't read it yet, though. I have not read Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, even though, yes, it is on my shelf over there. It is phenomenal. Hey, but I have read other books, like Dante's Divine Comedy. I've read Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. I've read some complicated books, guys, and I love reading and I love writing. But where did my love of reading come from? It all started in 2017. It all started in spring of 2017. Where did my love of reading come from? It all started in the spring of 2017. My eldest brother, Devin, introduced me to a YouTube series called Thug Notes. Now, this series, Thug Notes, it was done by the channel Wisecrack. And this channel got me into reading because Thug Notes, my boy, my man's Sparky Sweets, my boy Sparky Sweets, PhD, he broke down classic literature, guys. He was a gangster that likes to read. It was It was a phenomenal, it was funny. He broke down a lot of classic books like The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The Hunger Games, Dracula, Hitchhiker's Guide into the Galaxy. He broke down Game of Thrones, 1984, The Giver, etc., etc. He broke down a lot of books, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube right now and just look up Thug Notes and have a ball with it. Have a ball with Thug Notes. You will enjoy it. I guarantee you. You will enjoy Thug Notes. That's how my love of reading came about. That is how my love of reading came about, guys. It's by Thug Notes. Now, Thug Notes is a very, very funny series. It's very, very fun and educational. It's very, very good. Ironically enough, I discovered Thug Notes in 2017, in spring of 2017. And then in summer of 2018, I discovered Overly Sarcastic Productions. Like I said, go check those guys out as well. Go check out Overly Sarcastic Productions. They break down history and mythology very, very, very well and very, very simply too. It's just amazing, guys. It is truly, truly amazing. Like, I love both of these series and channels, guys. I love Thug Notes and I love OSP, Overly Sarcastic Productions. It's very, very good. It's so good, guys. I love learning stuff. I'm a deep thinker. I love to analyze and critique things. I've tried to analyze and critique Wally a bunch of times on the channel. I've tried to analyze and critique Inside Out on the channel, and I failed at both of those miserably. But if y'all want my thoughts on Wally or Inside Out, just let me know and I'll do a stream dedicated to those two movies if y'all want. And yeah, guys. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about storytelling, guys. Here's the thing about storytelling. A lot of the TV shows and movies we all love are usually based off of something else, are usually based off of already existing material. Like the best well-known, I guess, like, versions of this type of storytelling is adaptations, right? Like the Hunger Games and The Hobbit, right? Those films are good, but people don't realize they're based off of already existing material. Like the Netflix series The Sandman, that's already done, that's already completed. My office, I guess you can call it that. It's my bedroom, but yeah, I guess you can consider this my office if you want. But yeah, like, I mean, yeah, guys. So what was I talking about? Right. How people like don't understand a lot of the stories that we all love are usually based off of already existing material. Like all the Disney classics, guys. Excuse me. All the Disney classics we all love are based off of already existing stories. Like Disney's A Pinocchio is based off of a novel by the same name written by Carlos Icanoli, which is a of which is a phenomenal book and a phenomenal film at the same time. A lot of the stories here we all love, guys, like Netflix's Sandman, that is based off of a comic book written by Neil Gaiman. Like, it's very, very interesting, guys. It is very, very interesting, and it's not complex. Fascinating and it's just fascinating and interesting to me that a lot of people don't realize a lot of the TV shows, a lot of the movies and stories they love is already based off of something that exists. Like, I mean, a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows are based off of already existing stories. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so yeah, that's very, very interesting, and I find a lot of the stuff just intriguing and all that. Of which, I mean, I am sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We've hit the hour mark. But yeah, I apologize if this stream being rambly, incoherent, and babbly, and not thought out, and me just being a stuttering fool. Of course, I mean, I'm just some dude in his room, just hit with a severe speech impediment, and yeah, guys, I mean, really, who cares at the end of the day? Who cares if I do this every night from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m.? No one. No one cares. I'm just some idiot in his room trying to talk about the stuff I like. And and the reason I do these, guys, hey, the reason I even do this, hey, the reason I put up, hey, the camera, or the reason I set up in my phone, turn on the camera and record or do a live stream is this. Here's the reason I started doing the live streams again. Here's the reason I started doing the live streams again. There are three main reasons. There are three main reasons as to why I started doing the live streams again. Number one, to see if there's anyone else interested in what I'm interested in, aka or i.e. anime, manga, comic books, history, mythology, philosophy, psychology, ancient and old stories, etc., etc. The second reason I'm doing this, guys, and the second reason I started doing the streams again, the second reason I started doing the streams again was to basically to promote my stories and promote my projects and try to build up interest for my stories that I'm working on. And the third and final and probably most important reason I do these streams, guys, I started doing the streams again, was to get better at speaking, was to get better at talking. It was to get better at speaking and talking and articulating my thoughts, and possibly, maybe, just maybe, not stutter as much and stop tripping over my words, even though the speech impediment cannot be helped. It's a disability on my part. But yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, guys. It's fascinating. But those are the reasons I do the streams, guys. And I'm sorry if I was incoherent or rambling or stuttering or off topic, because I can never stay on topic, guys. But either way, we have hit the hour mark. But either way, guys, we have hit the hour mark. And with that, guys, I'm outie. And y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, turn on all post notifications. Hey, so that we never miss a video, and you'll be notified whenever I upload. And with that, guys, I am outie. I love you guys, and thank you, guys.